Islam is the second largest religion in the world with over 1.5 billion followers. And like Christianity, Islam is a transnational religion, meaning that there are Muslims living in every country in the world, and there are many countries that are majority Muslim. Most Muslims will think of themselves as either Shia or Sunni, but there is tremendous diversity even within Shia Islam and within Sunni Islam that's often regionally dependent. Islam literally means submission, and so Muslims see themselves as coming to God with great humility. And for Muslims, submitting to God creates a radical sense of equality. The most sacred text for Muslims is the Holy Quran, which most Muslims believe is the direct word of God as revealed to Muhammad through the angel Gabriel. And even though Muslims hold Christian and Jewish prophetic lineages as authoritative, for Muslims, the most important prophet and the final prophet is Muhammad. Muhammad brought Judeo-Christian monotheism to the Arab people about 1,300 years ago. One of the most misunderstood concepts in Islam is that of jihad, which many people interpret as a holy war. But there is nothing holy about war. And what jihad actually represents is an internal struggle, the battle that's raging in our own heart. And all of our religious traditions talk about that internal struggle. In that respect, jihad isn't just a Muslim idea, but it's a reality of the human condition. In order to understand what animates Muslim life, it's helpful to think about the 5 pillars of Islam, which is an aspiration that most Muslims around the world have. The first pillar is Shahada, or the recitation of faith. There is no God but God, and Muhammad is his prophet. The second pillar is Salat, or ritual prayer 5 times a day facing in the direction of Mecca, the holiest of Muslim sites. The third pillar is Zakat, or charitable giving to the poor. A certain percentage of your salary every year would be given for philanthropy. The fourth pillar is Ramadan, or fasting during the holy month. That month changes each year. It's based on a lunar calendar, but Muslims will generally fast for a full month. For Muslims, developing a type of self-discipline through fasting will help ensure that they are able to follow the other tenets of their faith in a way that is equally rigorous and devotional. And the fifth pillar is Hajj, or the aspiration to undertake a pilgrimage to Mecca at least once in your life. And through these 5 pillars, we see a global sense of community amongst Muslims, a shared sense of experience that really connects Muslims across time and space.
There are more than 4 million Muslims living here in Germany. They make up the nation's 3rd largest religious community. Most adhere to the Sunni branch of Islam. The 2nd largest is the Alawites, followed by the Shiites. Almost half of Muslims in Germany hold a German passport. Most are of Turkish extraction. Other large groups came from southeastern Europe, the Middle East, North Africa and Asia.
A Muslim is an immigrant like any other. His concerns are the same. He wants his children to go to school and receive a decent education. They should be given the chance to enter the labour market just like their parents. And in this regard, they don't want to face discrimination as Muslims.
Most Muslims place a great deal of importance on religion. The Federal Office for Migration and Refugees says more than 80% of Muslims here define themselves as religious. Freedom of religion is guaranteed by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Germany. As a result, mosques are a common sight in German towns and cities. The oldest surviving Islamic house of worship in Germany is in the Berlin district of Wilmersdorf. The foundation stone of the Ahmadiyya Mosque was laid in 1924. One of Germany's largest mosques was built in the city of Duisburg in North Rhine-Westphalia in 2008. The Mekhes Mosque can accommodate up to 1,200 worshippers. A community centre that is open to all, including non-Muslims, is so far the only one of its kind in Germany. Muslims should view themselves as part of German society and be understood as such. This is also the goal of the German Islam Conference, a forum for exchange between Muslims and government representatives since 2006. Ongoing dialogue covers a wide range of issues, from Islamic religious education and training programs for imams, right through to the threat of Islamic extremism and Islamophobia. The conference does not shy away from controversy. In 2012, participants of the annual plenary session discussed, among other things, equality for men and women, and achieved a clear consensus.
I think this is the first time that so many Muslim groups and individuals have reached agreement on a declaration of this kind. And this declaration aims to make it clear that domestic violence and forced marriage are not the product of religious influence, but that they are based on traditionalist, patriarchal structures in countries of origin and have nothing to do with religion and Islam.
That Muslim women are often regarded as oppressed is something that Frankfurt attorney Gülnur Halat-Mek wants to change. She aims to inspire young female Muslims by example. Her parents originally came to Germany as guest workers from Turkey. Gülnur was the first Turkish girl in her school to graduate from high school and went on to study law.
Well, the most important thing for me is that young people, and primarily young girls, are able to develop their personalities. That it should be a matter of course that young people take part in swimming lessons, school trips and sports instruction. This has to be anchored within families.
In 2010, Gülnur joined forces with like-minded Muslim women to form the network Frankfurt Progressive Women's Action Group, which campaigns for better educational opportunities for Muslim girls. As a family lawyer, Gülnur often encounters women who find it hard to make independent life choices, particularly following a divorce.
In some cases, people have been here for 30 years and speak barely a word of German. I have a different perspective on both worlds, and that's fascinating, because I'm simply juggling between both.
For Gülnur, education and financial independence are the key to greater equality. She defines herself as a devout Muslim, but her faith is her own private business. She aims to show young Muslim girls and women that you can be religious and still pursue a career. Imams and religious education teachers can be key mediators in the integration process. Some 2,100 imams provide religious instruction at more than 2,300 mosques in Germany. But almost all of these clerics receive their training in Islamic countries. Most spend just a few years in Germany without any attachment to the country or its people, and often with no previous knowledge of German. This was the experience of Ahmed Sami, who came to Bochum from Morocco in 2002.
The language was very important to me, because I didn't understand a word. I only heard expressions, but had no idea what they meant. The culture and the society were also quite new to me.
But if imams are not integrated themselves, how can they facilitate the integration of community members?
Imams should be bridge builders and not encourage cultural segregation. That's why, in my view, they can also conduct their training in Germany and be socialized in the country where they will eventually work, within their community.
It is now possible to pursue a degree course in Islamic religious education at several German universities. The universities of Osnabrück and Münster have also set up a joint centre for Islamic theology. The first graduates of the new courses are expected in 2016. Until then, many institutes are offering further training opportunities for working imams and other Muslim clerics. The concept was first introduced with a pilot project in Osnabrück in 2010. For 2 semesters, Bochum Imam Ahmed Sami attended seminars here on German language, history and culture, as well as educational theory.
This represents a new step in German history, that the Germans, academics in particular, are taking notice of Muslims. I view that as something quite special.
Clerics graduating from German universities are also in demand in German schools. Over the next few years, Germany plans to phase in Islamic religious education as a standard subject. Islamic studies for Muslim children in German. Yet another element of an overarching strategy to enhance integration. Türken Tatabas shops for the evening meal. During the Islamic fasting month of Ramadan, Muslims must observe a strict vow of abstinence from dawn to dusk. In Germany, where all non-Muslims eat during the daytime as usual, this presents the Tatabas family with a particular challenge. Of course, it's easier for the family to observe the fast at home, rather than at school or in the workplace. Ramadan is also an opportunity to spend more time together and iron out any family conflicts.
Selamun aleyküm.
This evening, the Tatabas family break their fast in the traditional fashion, with some dates and other delicacies.
All my favourite people are here. The table is laden. My wife has cooked some delicious food.
It's a great relief to be eating again.
Ramadan is also a time for evening celebrations. In Berlin, the cultural festival Ramadan Nights is held during the Islamic fasting month, with concerts, performances and films. It's sponsored by the German Foreign Office. It's an opportunity for everyone to experience Muslim culture in all its rich diversity.
That was really cool. Great music, really wild.
Vive le Ramadan et vive les nuits du Ramadan.
Uy, pasok kayo. Uy! Yan. Ay, by the way, si Ate Mira, yung best friend ko din. Sabi ko, alat na! Ano? Uy, tara, inom tayo. Di ba nag-iinom kayo? Uy, happy birthday, ah! Uy, nandito pala kayo! Uy, happy birthday! Teka lang! Uy, nandito pala kayo! Oo, boy! Uy, happy birthday sa nag-birthday, ah! By the way, si Ate Mira. Hello! Uy, sige! sige, upo na kayo. Ay, sige. Ano ba tayo? Wala mo bigla siya po. Uy guys, kain kayo. Ito plato. Dali. Ito may binuno dito. Tapos gawa na lang.
Papakat ka yun. O sige, sige.
Patim ka kasi yung jacket.
Okay, game. Dito kayong lahat, tapos packet ah. Packet ah. Uy, punta doon.
Ay, oo nga pala, no? Pero marami pa ng pagkain dito. Sige, wag na lang yan.
Teka, diba bawal ka dyan? Ay, diba bawal ka din kasi Muslim ka?